Hi, I'm Bob Vreeland. I am the fleet commander for Bottlelogic Brewing in Anaheim, California. I've been in the craft beer industry for almost 7 years now. In that time, I've driven everything from the large Class 6 refrigerated truck to small cargo vans and just about everything else in between. When I started here at Bottlelogic, we were running the distribution out of a single modified refrigerated cargo van. As we grew, we needed a bigger truck. After purchasing our first truck, which we jokingly refer to as our learning curve, the need for a bigger, more capable truck became very evident. One day I was in the tasting room and I ran into a group of people who happened to have Isuzu t-shirts on. After a few beers and talking with them, we came up with the idea of collaborating on the ultimate craft beer truck. In the past, we've always tried to modify vehicles, trying to make them work for something that they weren't designed for. Isuzu had the perfect truck for our operations. Their trucks are durable and really easy to drive. But Isuzu was making a genuine effort to do something really big for the craft brewing industry. So after a few more beers and weeks of strategic analysis, science met art and we brewed up Izzy the Isuzu. She was designed to do what our two trucks did: a business-oriented delivery machine during the week and a fully capable weekend party on wheels. Before getting Izzy the Isuzu, we drove a larger refrigerated truck for our deliveries. The truck was physically large, but it lacked the cargo capacity to deliver large amounts of beer. Even though it was a hybrid truck, it did not get the MPG we expected. The maneuverability was a challenge. Making U-turns and getting around in tight spaces was nearly impossible. Then came the weekends when we were out promoting our brewery at festivals and events. We had a second truck, a modified refrigerated cargo van that we added a draft system to. With every event, we would have to build out everything before loading the vehicle. This meant running the lines, assembling the couplers, wrenching in the faucets, and loading in a CO2 tank. Then at teardown, we would have to clean and disassemble everything, storing it back in a bin that lived in our warehouse. Aside from not having the space needed to carry enough kegs for weekend festivals, we would have to keep the van idling in order to power the reefer unit. Even then, we didn't have the cooling power to keep the kegs as cold as they needed to be. With the system on Izzy, everything is always ready. The kegs are loaded from the distribution cold box into the truck, tapped, and calibrated on the spot. We have 8 individual regulators on the truck, so I can control the pressure to each line individually. That way, when I arrive at the event, I just open the door, roll out the awning, and set out my serving table. But probably the greatest part of this setup is having 8 beer taps ready to pour cold beer for hours. After last call, no jockey boxes full of ice, no fumbling with tents. I just close the tap door, roll in the awning, and I'm ready to go. The draft system doesn't have to be broken down or disassembled, which saves a lot of time both at the event and during the cleaning process back at the brewery. Another time saver is the 10-gallon gray water tank. I can pour all day, and whatever collects in the trough goes to this tank. I don't have to find a place at the event to dump the spent beer. It can be properly discarded back at our brewery. The Thermo King unit is fantastic. It keeps the cargo box really cold. It has its own diesel engine, or it can be plugged into a power source. Both of these modes have an automatic start-stop feature that is eco-friendly and reduces noise. So one of the first events we used Izzy the Isuzu for was in Palm Springs, California, during the middle of summer. It was 115 degrees that day, but the truck definitely held its own and served the coldest beer at that event. It actually got so cold in the back of the truck, we had to turn the reefer unit back off because the beer was freezing in the beer lines. But at that event, the awning was the real hero. It provides enough shade for our beer tenders and our visitors. The best thing about Izzy is that she is 2 trucks in one. This has saved us from 2 registrations, 2 vehicles to maintain, and 2 vehicles to insure. We say that Izzy the Isuzu is our weekday workhorse and our weekend warrior. The next best thing I like about Izzy the Isuzu is how easy she is to drive. And because there's no requirement for a CDL, anybody on our staff can legally operate this vehicle. The seating position is higher than an SUV, and Isuzu has a low cab forward design that is great for visibility and turning. She can easily be maneuvered into tight spaces at festivals and events, or the occasional U-turn to get back to a missed stop. Izzy is compact and can easily be parked in street spots and maneuvered down alleys without having to make 3-point turns all the time. Izzy is also equipped with a backup camera, which makes it easier for parking or docking at our accounts. Plus, I like the magnetic suspension seat. So just like in a long haul truck, this seat absorbs all the bumps from any of the less than perfect roads out there. Liftgates are nothing new to trucks, but I really do like this Maxim gate. This gate is great because it is pallet sized and I can fit a pallet with a hand truck on it. Our previous gate didn't have a platform large enough for pallets, so we were loading with a hand truck or using a forklift. The 2,500 pound capacity is more than enough to handle a pallet of kegs and an electric pallet jack. We can load and unload the truck more efficiently, which allows for more time out on the road. The keg height E-Track is perfect for securing sixtels. I usually have a mix of cans, bottles, and kegs, but if I wanted to, I can haul as many as 48 half-barrel kegs in there. That's a lot of beer. Between my 2 years as an entertainment bus driver and the 7 years I've been in the beer industry, I've seen my fair share of stage setups, information booths, and mobile pouring stations. Izzy the Isuzu is by far the easiest and most attention-grabbing setup that I've come across. This truck is a work-ready showpiece that creates a lot of buzz everywhere it goes. No pun intended. Our designer, Emmerich Office, incorporated Bottlogic's arcade theme into the vehicle's wrap. So when we are at an event or out delivering, it creates a photo op for fans of Bottlelogic and for our accounts to post on their social media. We've got a lot more publicity and recognition with Izzy the Isuzu than any other vehicle in our fleet. Because Izzy is so photogenic and taggable on social media, I see tons of fun photos of Izzy out in the world. It has been great for our brewery. I absolutely love this truck and everything it has done for Bottlelogic. Izzy the Isuzu is just a big toy. She is the ultimate kegerator on wheels.